Climate change is a big issue and I don't know what the solution is. The people that are in the most danger are tribal communities. They're people who live in island communities and remote areas, and these are the people without a voice. These are the people that rely on the environment and nature around them, and they're the ones that are going to be hit the hardest. I flew to Hawaii for the IUCN World Conservation Congress, and I figured that if I was going to be in Hawaii anyways, I might as well do a shoot. CJ is actually this amazing landscape photographer who's been shooting lava for 20 years, and reached out, asked him if he had any availabilities to take me out to the lava flows and do a creative shoot together, and he said, absolutely. Ben and I had both been featured in Smug Mug videos, so I'd known of his work. I'd already followed him because of that. He one day commented on one of my shots that was a lava shot that I had taken, and he was like, oh, jealous, I would love to shoot that. Just about a month ago, this lava flow hit the sea. We're at the airport right now picking up the entire crew. We got about 5 people coming in, spread over about an hour. Plan right now, grab up the entire team, drive up to the camp, unpack everything, strategize what we're gonna bring for the night, grab some food, grab some last minute supplies, take a nap, and then at midnight, meet up with some locals, head out to the flows. I think it's about a 2-mile hike. 2 tiny spikes way up in the distance over there. We have a couple bicycles which are gonna be used to caddy stuff over. And if all goes as planned, by 2 a.m. we should be set up and ready to go for our first shot.
Ben told me what he wanted for costumes was, he wanted the look of a shaman, but without being too specific to one community, gender, or things like that. I'm putting the final touches for the costume, because these are all things that couldn't be done before in the plane.
I got the main outfit from a medieval store in Montreal called Dracolite. I really wanted a generic shaman vibe so that it looked more like a video game as opposed to an actual ethnic character.
I brought a lot of pieces of fabric, of leather and a fur, so we could play with it once I was here. And I got here one day early so I could arrange some of the stuff that I had that wouldn't be able to be done before coming here.
Tonight I'm wearing what will be charcoal. I have some dreads in the back right over here. Got some black makeup with some red tints. In the daytime you'll be able to see that. And we're gonna do something with this right here.
When I emailed him, I just told him, this is what I can do. If you need assistance with transportation, with carrying equipment, if you're doing a shoot, or even if you need a model, in any way, I would love to help. But it wasn't until we got closer that I finally realized, okay, no, I'm gonna be on a model, whatever way I can help out, so.
Surface flows are areas that the lava has actually broken out onto the surface. Surface flows can be around 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit. It feels like being in front of a blast furnace. It's definitely hot.
I need to figure out what my framing is, and we're gonna have to all slide into position, take photos for 6 seconds, and then just all move out again. I've never worked that way before, so it's gonna be very interesting. Man, we made it. Wow. Yo! You can just feel the heat.
Yeah, you see all those? That's all my footprints. So you see that? We can't stand up there for long.
I was expecting to see a river of lava because everybody's talking about there's the top of the volcano is going off and it's almost spilling out. But ends up being we had to walk 4 miles on lava to reach the surface flows, and we were using so many different types of cameras, equipment, and some of the equipment it's not compatible to work with other equipment.
Yeah, we're trying to figure out how to trigger my large studio strobes with the speedlights that we have available, which all happen to be Canon speedlights, which are a pain in the butt. Theoretically, I'm imagining that we can take lava flows with longer exposure time, say 1/3 of a second, maybe 1 second, and then within that time frame I can start my exposure and someone can manually trigger the flash using this combination over here, because one of the flashes can act as a master.
If it's too bright, we just go too bright, you can normally just go a little bit off of that bright spot of the flow. Normally only to the distal edge is really bright.
Yeah, the flows are a little brighter than expected, or rather not as sprawled around as I was hoping for. So, no, we don't clone stamp anything. We try to get it right in camera. So I'm just gonna wait a little. Right now without moonlight, everything's just dark. So we're gonna toss a speedlight across the field of lava and snap that, see what it looks like. For these shots, one of the things I was really counting on was to have the moon lighting up the flows and the rocks, and that just didn't happen because it took us so long to get out. By the time we got into position, it'd be 3 o'clock in the morning. The moon would already be set, so we just ended up pitch black. And so I'm trying to light this entire field of lava using very few lights that we had. And so we got our main broncolor Surreal cell, almost at max power, way back behind, just on the opposite side of the flows, lighting the entire place out, giving an eerie white glow. And then on the foreground, just trying to use speed lights. It's just part of the challenges to get out there and find solutions and make it work no matter what. We needed to diffuse the speed lights, so the only thing we had available was a white t-shirt. The lava won't stop moving.
But it does.
I know. I can't get low enough to get the right distortion because the lava is always below me. He can go in that little V.
Yeah, right.
I'm wondering.
I'll stand there.
Can you wet them first? Wet them up?
We had like this water pump that we used as an effect, but as well as a layer of protection for myself. So because it's water and it's hot, the water helped a lot in the sense that it bought some time for me to stay in a position that extra 5 seconds more.
When the lava flow flows across, it's flowing and it forms a nice hard area. Well, that area, the crust that's over that it's basically volcanic glass. And as it cools, it cracks. So that layer, that real thin layer that's over the actual hardened lava flow is real tiny, fine shards of volcanic glass. You could practically shave with it.
The lava kind of crackles everywhere, so at the beginning I didn't know if I was stepping on something that would break because everything was glass. So I was really aware, but on the way back, it became, I think we're all exhausted, and I was pretty exhausted. So I didn't pay attention as much, and because you could see where you put your feet, I think we became really familiar with how to walk on lava.
We have an offering for Pele to thank her for graciously allowing us to shoot here. So it's hot. That's what a burning pineapple looks like in lava.
The photos that we got last night, this one picture is incredible, and we see pretty much knowing where the team was, what everybody was doing. It's absolutely this humongous production of everybody together, which is incredible because he got that shot.
The picture for me is like the cherry on top.
Today, I think we're probably going to be more aware of where we need to go, and also carry less equipment, because I think we carried quite a bit of things that we didn't need yesterday.
Well, we've just come to the end of the gravel road. Doesn't look good for any surface flows today, so we're gonna go check out lava plumes instead, where the lava hits the ocean. Today was supposed to be an amazing day. I had figured out all the things that didn't work out from day one, and I knew exactly how we're gonna pull all the shots off. One problem though is that when we arrived, there were no surface flows, which meant that all my carefully planned ideas had nowhere to go. So it was back to improvising and making do with what we had available. It's a little gnarly, but I think we could still get a really cool shot. We'll try that victory pose.
Yeah.
With a stick and just let's shoot, because I don't want to miss out on that.
How are you going to put the light behind? You're going to use side-to-side lighting?
Well, it's not a question of what we want, it's a question of what's possible.
What's possible.
So that's what we're going to pull, and then we'll play by ear from there. We're going to backlight as much as possible, see how that goes. My camera's completely fogged up. I settled for this old simple trick, which is just simply put a light behind the model, and that creates the cascading shadows, and the light would be hidden by the model. So, the viewer wouldn't really quite know what's going on behind it. It had a sense of mysticism, gave a little bit of an aura. It was really the best way to give a special mood to the image while revealing the landscape. So this is a good one. I don't know if it's in focus though. And this is because it was raining. We just arrived to an impasse because there's this, what is this, sulfur?
So you see how this is coming up and it's straight white? This isn't like that down there, that's steam. This is straight sulfur dioxide gas. Right now, this is all blowing right where we don't want it to be going.
Can I put towel on top of that little spiky rock thing? Or is that too close to the sulfur?
I would say that would be probably a little too close. You don't want to bring that in for a long time. Long time it can kill you. Long-term exposure over years and years and years, ask me later. So you have sulfur dioxide gas. That sulfur dioxide gas, you're gonna smell it, you're gonna taste it, and the worst is when it mixes with any moisture on your skin, sulfur dioxide gas is actually attracted to that water, and it makes a light form of an acid. So you'll find sometimes you get back and certain areas on your skin are actually burning from that sulfur.
For me, it was a good challenge because it was dark, it was hot, but at the same time for me, it was more of just delivering what he said.
Having the opportunity to shoot in the lava flows is an amazing privilege to just see how powerful nature is and how much it is something that should be respected. We live in an environment today which is under so much pressure from human activity, and I think that our current generation is really the tipping point. And so just like a lava flowing out of a mountain, once things are set in motion, I don't think we can actually go back in time and stop it. Climate change is not something that you can really express in a single image. We need to keep it in the forefront so that we show our friends, our families, corporations, we have that conversation to show that it's something that we care about, that our future and our world is something that we want to talk about and that we want to share.